Tonight on our segment Words of Wisdom, we look at the thoughts of the famous American naturalist, poet and philosopher Henry David Thoreau on the subject of truth.
It takes two to speak the truth, one to speak, another to hear. American philosopher Henry David Thoreau.
The body of a textile businessman from Pamuna Road in Maharagama, who had died in suspicious circumstances, was discovered on the railway tracks in Mount Lavinia this morning.
The police said that the deceased has been identified as the chairman of the Welfare Society of Small Industrial Entrepreneurs on Parna Road.
The deceased is 39-year-old Pradeep Nayanjit, a father of two from Neelamara, Maharagama. Pradeep Nayanjit, an apparel salesman who engaged in business on Pamuna Road in Maharagama, travels to work in a three-wheeler.
He arrived this morning, kept his things and left, but he did not lay them out as he usually does. We don't know where he went. This was around 4:30 or 5:30 in the morning.
The body of Pradeep Nayanjit was later found on the railway tracks in Mount Lavinia. His three-wheeler was also discovered in close proximity to where his body was discovered. The police said that the engineer of the train that travelled at around 6 a.m. had notified the police about the body on the tracks.
We saw the body on the tracks, we stopped the trains. Afterwards, the police arrived and we moved the body.
The post-mortem examination of the late Pradeep Nayanjit had not been performed as of this evening. The coroner who inspected the body of the victim ordered the police to place the body at the Kalubowila Teaching Hospital and obtain a judicial medical officer's report. He left home at around 3:15 in the morning. I do not know what happened. He did not have any rifts with anyone. His business was stuck. He lives with me. He said he will go today, so I did not go with him. We go to work together every day.
He did a lot of social service. Over the past few days, he had some problems. I advised him on those matters. I never imagined if such a thing would happen to him.
The police said that there are factors which suggest that the death could have been a suicide. The police said that the deceased may have jumped in front of the train plying from Maradana to Panadura between 5:15 and 5:45. However, the engineer of the train that operated between that time frame says that the train did not run over anyone. According to the railway's control room, the procedure when a person is run over by a train is that the body is to be delivered to the next railway station by the train that knocked down the person. However, such procedure had not been followed. The police said that the post-mortem examination that will be performed tomorrow would possibly reveal the cause of the death.
Let's take a look at what's coming up later on the news.
Very pleased with his performance, and I was very pleased with the reaction from the crowd. But I've got to say, I didn't think it was unexpected. I expected it. I don't know how many times I have to say it, he's been great in training.
He played very well. He was a real professional. Played for the club that pays him, tried to win, tried to score. He was fantastic.
Meanwhile, representatives of media rights organizations made submissions before the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission today once again regarding problems faced by journalists who attempted to cover the demonstrations in Ratapaswala. Now, the chairman of the SLHRC, former Supreme Court Judge Priyantha Perera, said inquiries would be made to correct these issues promptly. On the 1st of August, a demonstration was held demanding a solution to the water issue in Ratapaswala. 3 persons were killed during the incident. Representatives of 7 media rights organizations appeared before the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission this morning. Several members of the SLHRC, including its legal secretary, were present at the session held today, which was presided over by SLHRC chairman, former Supreme Court Judge Priyantha Perera. Discussions were held regarding the inconveniences faced by journalists during the unrest in Ratapaswala and the legal status of the problem.
Invited several journalist associations to present here at the Commission office to discuss the problems relating to Ratapaswala incident, and the Commission has given them an undertaking that we would consider all the problems that they face just now in regard to this type of incident, and make every endeavor to resolve these problems for them after due consideration.
The SLHRC notes that it will meet with civil society representatives from Ratapaswala and surrounding areas tomorrow. Although we do not have complete faith, we reiterated to the commissioners and the chairman that they have a duty and a responsibility while promoting human rights in the country to ensure the rights of journalists who work with regard to problems faced by the public. It is journalists who take information to the people. It is a responsibility of the Human Rights Commission to safeguard their right to secure and report information at any time, from any place and at any moment.
The 2013 Marine Symposium, organized by the Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Sciences of the Ruhunu University, together with the Marine Environment Authority, commenced in Buentoto today.
Minister of Environment and Renewable Energy Susil Premajayantha was the chief guest at the inaugural session of the symposium this morning. Officials from environment protection agencies and authorities and environmentalists are among those participating in the two-day symposium. Speaking at the event, Minister Susil Premajayantha remarked on the need for national policy on environment protection given increased pollution caused by large-scale development projects.
A startling increase in the number of accidents involving children caused by parental negligence is being reported at present. We received another such report from KGOL.
An 11-year-old infant died after choking on lime in the Palamuri area in Niyadurupola, Varakapola yesterday. Our correspondent in the area said that the infant was admitted in the Varakapola base hospital. However, the infant died. The medical superintendent of the Varakapola base hospital, Upul Vijay Nayaka, said that the child was unconscious when brought to the hospital. He added that the doctors tried to revive the infant for over half an hour, but to no avail.
We provided the necessary treatment, but we could not revive the child. If such an incident is never to happen again, parents need to be more careful when it comes to their children.
Meanwhile, a 6-day-old infant who had been abandoned under a bridge in Modhera was discovered today. The police were informed by the unattended baby, and the baby was rushed to the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children. Director of the hospital, specialist Dr. Ratnasiri Hevage, said the baby is in a stable condition.
When the police brought this infant to the hospital, the health condition was not poor. She was a healthy child, but was not clean. We observed a weakness in one of the hands of the child. However, the child is now well. News First reports on a number of incidents where children have been abandoned on the streets. A 5-day-old baby girl abandoned at a bus stop. A newborn, only several hours old, discovered in the backyard of a house in Dikhenagama. A girl is abandoned near the Kalutara Bodhia. A baby girl abandoned in a culvert. A 5-month-old infant girl abandoned on the street. 2 girls are abandoned near the police station. A 6-day-old baby girl abandoned on the Modhera Bridge. Constant reminders to draw parents' attention towards their children.
Meanwhile, investigations are underway into the brawl that broke out between the deputy chairman of Rambukana Pradesh Sabha and an opposition politician. The police said that the altercation had taken place following an argument that intensified during discussions on approving a leave for a Pradesh Sabha member at a meeting of the Rambukana Pradesh Sabha. Now, the police said that complaints have been lodged by both parties and that separate investigations have commenced into the incident.
Up next is Action TV. This is Action TV.
The Ministry of Education has agreed to enroll 15 students who performed exceptionally well at last year's GCE ordinary level examinations to 3 prominent national schools in Colombo for their advanced levels. The Ministry of Education agreed to enroll the 15 students before the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission last Friday. The parents of these 15 girls lodged a complaint with the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission on the 2nd of May this year as Visakha Vidyalaya and Devi Balika Vidyalaya in Colombo had refused to enroll their children on the basis of regulations imposed by Education Circular number 4 of 2013. Although the circular was later withdrawn, the 2 schools in question rejected enrolling the 15 girls, claiming that there were no vacancies in the advanced level classes. The reason for the lack of vacancies has now been uncovered through an investigation conducted by the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission. The lack of vacancies was caused as a result of both Visakha Vidyalaya and Devi Balika Vidyalaya Colombo enrolling students to advanced level classes at the schools as per their whim and fancy, imposing the regulations of Education Circular number 4 of 2013 only in the case of these 15 girls. As such, the heads of both schools had violated Education Circular number 4 of 2013 prior to its withdrawal. It is the responsibility of the Ministry of Education to ensure that the agreement reached last Friday is not used as cover to prevent disciplinary measures from being taken. In accordance with the agreement reached last Friday, the majority of these 15 girls would be enrolled to Sirimava Bandaranayaka Vidyalaya in Colombo. We have reached a consensus between the different factions. If there is a consensus, then the matter is concluded. If a consensus is not reached, then a recommendation is issued following an investigation into whether or not there has been a violation of fundamental rights. As a result of the statement made by the Legal Secretary of the SLHRC, questions being raised about the conduct of the Investigative Director of the SLHRC cannot be prevented. This is because she had arrived at the conclusion that the fundamental rights of the 15 girls in question had not been violated without conducting an investigation based on the complaint lodged by the parents on the 2nd of May. As a result, the parents had to lodge a fresh complaint with the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission on the 5th of July. The Human Rights Commission does intervene even in the event that there are no complaints, but in matters where individual persons are affected, the individual must lodge a complaint. Once a complaint is lodged, an investigation is held to determine whether their fundamental rights have been violated. If this is natural justice, isn't the drawing of conclusions minus an investigation a black mark on the SLHRC and a grievance for the public? The 8th representative meeting of the state and privatized sector of the Sri Lanka Freedom Workers Union was held in Colombo today under the patronage of Economic Development Minister Basil Rajapaksa. For the first time, private sector institutions were taken over by the government. Not only were they taken over, but they were turned into institutions making profits in the tens of millions. When no bank was willing to loan money, the Ministry of Economic Development made a special loan to the Palavatta and Sevanagala companies. That money has been repaid to us and now they have become a strength to the workers and the farmers there. When looking at the COPE report today, what we can see is that many state institutions have a tendency to make losses. There are various reasons for this. Now we have an opportunity to look at how we are going to manage this. Direct your eyes towards that factor. Today the trade unions have a greater responsibility than before to ensure proper management in these institutions and to minimize or eradicate corruption.